How have people still not realized that feminism is a sham? It's a scam. I'm telling you, it is a robbery. It's robbery of womanhood. Because my thing is like, everything they push for is opposite of what actually truly makes women happy and fulfilled. And I'm just like, how are people not seeing that? It's sad because people don't realize it until later on in their 40s, 50s, when they're single, they have no children, no family, and they were taught and pushed that in their 20s, they should be going out, they should be meeting as many partners as they can, experiencing life, enjoying and doing all of that. But then it's like, it becomes harder to have children. It becomes harder to settle down and get married. I'm not saying that it's impossible and no one can't, but it's true, like in your 20s, it's easier to meet somebody and to start settling down and getting married. Like as you get older, those things get harder. But it's like we're pushed to pursue career and selfish desires in our 20s. And then as we get older and mature, it's like that's when we should start thinking about that.
Modern feminism has convinced so many women to miss out on some of the best things in life, which unfortunately they deem suppressive.
Viral attention for sharing her regrets about ditching the idea of marriage and family. Now, her article in Business Insider reads, quote, "I'm 38 and single, and I recently realized I want a child. I'm terrified that I've missed my opportunity." That woman's name is Melissa Persling, and she's revealing to Fox News Digital what she thinks caused her current situation. Listen.
I feel unbelievably betrayed by feminism. I was constantly fed this idea that women can do everything. We don't really need men. Women can have the great career and have the kids that they like and change the tires and do this. I mean, I grew up thinking, and men are great, but like I can do all the same things. I do feel in many ways betrayed by that line of thinking. I kind of want to go back to some of those teachers and coaches and say, what the hell did you mean by that? Because women can't do it all. We can't.
They all make noise when they're still younger, but after getting older, they realize things are different.
Feminism is a scam. A few years ago, I was an angry, blue-haired feminist. I once believed that male privilege was real and that I was a victim of the wage gap. Now that I understand the true motives of feminism, I know that this could not be further from the truth, and that modern-day feminism is a war on true masculinity. Before women had the right to vote, most were stay-at-home wives, which meant they weren't working jobs and couldn't be taxed. Our overlords didn't like that. Rockefeller started funding feminist campaigns in media, and as a consequence of the movement, women started entering the workforce and leaving the home. Children would then be separated from their parents and sent to Rockefeller-funded schools to be indoctrinated by the state. All of this ultimately disrupting the family unit at its core. Feminism is defined as the belief in social, economic, and political equality of the sexes. But in the West, I must ask, what rights do men have that women don't? Modern feminists are convincing women that hookup culture, using hormonal birth control, and not shaving is liberation. That toxic masculinity is prevalent and the patriarchy must be dismantled. Through movies and media, we're taught that working for the man, climbing the corporate ladder, and paying tax is more empowering and valuable than raising the next generation. Women have lost touch with our natural loving instincts, and birth rates are plummeting. Men and women are not the same. And by protesting for equality of outcome rather than opportunity, feminists are demonizing and emasculating men. I made a video on why modern feminism in the West is a scam, and it went super viral. Within 24 hours, it was trending on BitChute, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Reddit, and garnered millions of views and comments. So why did this video strike a chord deep within the human psyche? Well, the truth resonates, but it also hurts. Even with an overwhelmingly positive response from both men and women, the angry victims of the Rockefeller indoctrination camps never failed to disappoint. With so many personal attacks and barely any intelligent counter-arguments. Cancel culture at its finest. It's always girls support girls until they have a differing opinion. Open public discourse around these topics is paramount. That's how we learn and evolve as a species. We must step outside the mental programming designed to keep us in a constant state of fear and anger and see the elite social engineering for what it truly is. Our freedoms are being taken away without our consent. Our wealth is being extracted, centralized, and given to corporate powers. It's not about men versus women, left versus right, or black versus white. We are all one. It's about rising up together against a corrupt system that wants to keep us distracted and pitted against each other so that they can maintain power. Rise up, warriors. You know who you are.
It's so sad that girls are saying in the comments, "Are you okay? Blink if you're in trouble." They just don't accept that they can be wrong. Where is the girl power?
Want to know something wild? Women traded family for a 9-to-5 and then they called it liberation. Just think about it for a second. Our grandmothers prayed for husbands so that they could work hard, raise kids, and build a strong home. That was the dream: security, love, and purpose. Then feminism came along, told women that being a wife and being a mother is oppressive. So what did we do? We left the home to work for men that don't love us at companies that will replace us the second we get burnt out. That's not freedom, that is slavery in heels. Feminism convinced women that family is a cage and working for a corporate job is empowerment. Tell me this, why do so many women hit 30, are alone, exhausted, and wondering why they feel so empty? It's because you can't outsmart God's design. No promotion will ever replace a husband that loves you and children who adore you. So no, I'm not anti-woman, I'm pro-woman, and pro-woman enough to tell you the truth. Real freedom isn't in a cubicle or a nurse's station, it's in building a legacy. So go forth and multiply.
Why tax 50% of the population when you can tax 100% of them?
Feminism is one of the biggest scams. They're indoctrinating young girls. I was even indoctrinated to think that your career is going to bring you happiness. Then you hit 40s, 50s, not married, no children, and it's heartbreaking. You're not happy. And I'm so happy and so grateful that I figured this out in my early 20s. You have some women in their 30s, 40s listening to Cardi B, dedicating their lives to their career, and they're going to be miserable. They're creating a certain lifestyle for themselves, and no man is ever going to want them. Then we start hating on men because men prefer younger women. Well, that's not really men's fault, is it? It's society's fault. Society should have told girls when they were much younger that at that age, they're going to be most desirable. But no, they were busy building their careers and building all these different things, which unfortunately they wake up one day and realize just isn't satisfying enough. And so I think it's very sad.
Today, women's happiness is, regrettably, founded on the distress of men, as governments worldwide implement laws favoring feminism, which oppress and undermine men. Consequently, we witness feminist arrogance and boastfulness. The question remains whether this injustice against men, driven by the global feminist lobby, will persist.
They told us feminism would set us free, but here's the truth nobody wants to admit. It's the biggest scam ever sold to women. Feminism promised empowerment, but what did it really deliver? Broken families, exhausted women, a culture that mocks motherhood, despises homemaking, and tells little girls their worth is found in acting like men. Instead of freedom, it gave us burnout. Instead of joy, it gave us loneliness. Instead of peace, it gave us endless chase for success that leaves us empty. They told us marriage was slavery, children were a burden, and being a wife was oppression. But the reality? The women who bought into those lies are more miserable than ever, chained to careers, drowning in debt, and searching for meaning. True strength isn't found in rejecting femininity. It's found in embracing it, in raising children, in building homes, and walking boldly in God's design. Feminism lied. God's way never fails. Save this for later and follow if you're ready to hear the truth they don't want you to know.
Honestly, and I'm probably going to get eaten alive for saying this, I feel like a lot of women have forgotten their place. And we live in this inverted world. And I feel we got stuck in this whole feminism thing. Feminism is a scam. And now it's like trying to undo. It is. Feminism, I don't care what anybody says. Yes, we are equal in value, but we are not equal in traits. We are different. Men and women are different.
I agree with that.
And I'm so sick and tired of why are we fighting to be something that we're not? I am not a man. I will never be a man. And for those of you that make that decision, I love that for you. Period. But there are certain things that are just, y'all are stronger than we are. We are more detail oriented than you are. There are certain traits that we naturally got from God based on the gender that we are. And it's all based on survival. It's all based on human nature. And so I feel like a lot of women, not all women, but most women have forgotten their place.
Within themselves,
within the order of family, within the order, even like with God, You know, if you just want to start blanketing statements like, now this is the thing. If you are a masculine woman, that's fine. But stop acting like you're feminine. If you want to be a boss, babe, I don't need no man. You go do you, boo. But stop teaching that that's the answer. Because I'm sick and tired of this divide of the family. I'm sick and tired of now good men, like, and I'm listening to like stories, right? Good men are getting lazy in dating. They're getting lazy in the pursuit because women are making either everything too easy or they're too hands off. So now what's the point in even trying to date a woman when you're the man that you want me to be?
We are equal in value, but we are not equal in trait. Best thing you will listen to today.
Biggest scam pulled on women. They told us we were empowered, but what did we actually get? Stress, debt, burnout, trading our femininity for a paycheck while still expected to do everything else at home. Here's the truth. Feminism didn't set women free. It chained us to a masculine system we were never designed for. It told us to compete with men instead of thriving in harmony with them. We don't need feminism. We need to reclaim our femininity. That's where the real power and freedom has always been.
Convince women to work so they could get more tax revenue. Genius.
So this feminist right here just came to the realization at the ripe age of 50 years old, man, that it's impossible to pursue a career life and be a mother at the same time. She said, feminism didn't account into us being mothers, man. It's like, how are we going to do what the men do if we have children? No fucking shit. And it's crazy that it took women decades, bro, to come to the realization that maybe perhaps, you know, gender roles exist for a reason. All these women are giving their best years, bro, for a corporate job, bro, to have a fancy title, man, and they're giving up families and having to go through all kinds of crazy measures, man, just to get pregnant through IVF and the brutal process that is. Nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about it. Everybody talks about IVF like this is just thing that you just do. Man, I'm a little old, it's not a big deal. I just do IVF. No, man, it is a brutal process to the woman, emotionally, hormonally, physically, spiritually. The man goes through it too. It's crazy that nobody really talks about it, you know. And it's like a lot of women just don't have any kids, man, and they stay alone and they see all their friends with their families and stuff like that. It's like, yo, all you got is a fancy title, and I know you hate your job because most men in corporate jobs hate their jobs. Rare is the man that likes their job. The only type of men that really like and enjoy their job tend to be like CEOs. You know what I'm saying? Or men who started their own businesses. But 99% of men historically have always absolutely hated their fucking job. But it's hardwired in our DNA to provide. So we just do it. We suck it up, right? We take it on the chin and we do it for our families, for the love of our families. But that's not hardwired in the DNA of a woman. So now they're struggling with the fact that it's like, yo, I got the title, I got everything I thought I wanted, but I feel like shit, I hate this fucking job. What the fuck? But then I can't say that because then that goes against the movement. That's so fucking funny, bro. Feminist men are not too sharp, bro.
Women are starting to realize feminism was a scam. Modern women are struggling to have kids due to them focusing their childbearing years on clinging to the corporate ladder just to get the title and then realize it was not what they thought it was going to be.
That moment when you realize the feminine movement was just a government scam to double their workforce and tax income, baiting women with false empowerment to train up our children and raise them into their system to destroy the family unit, caging two birds with one stone, the mother and the child.
Feminism is actually wild. So I'm going to preface this by saying I'm talking to Black women in the Black community. I also used to be a feminism based on what I was learning at school and all these other things. But now, living as an adult in American society as a Black female, I'm starting to recognize a few things. Number one, per usual, the things that they say they stand for, they don't actually stand for when it comes to legislation, organization, and all these types of things. What it ends up being is a cultural atmosphere of disdain for men, and that turns into a disdain for boys, but we'll get into that in another video, and also population control. And when you say, oh my God, she's talking about population control, she's a conspiracy theorist. But I don't find it coincidental that as soon as white women stop having babies because it's too expensive, because I can go down a list, but I'm not. We'll just keep it there. We see abortion bans. We see a transgender and LGBTQ movement that does not necessarily promote birth. And again, I'm talking to the Black community because I see a lot of Black women within this feminism that I just want to call in. I know you have been hurt by men. I know that there are terrible men in the world. I know they exist. I've been hurt by men. But that does not mean that all men are somehow inherently inclined to violence or negative behaviors. I think we as a community have to start taking responsibility when it comes to the partners that we choose to lay down with and produce seed with. Boys are being raised by women who have been heartbroken. And this is how they show up in the world. And this is how they show up in culture and society, considering the messages that are being pushed about Black men in media. This is causing an intentional split between Black men and Black women. I really need us to start critically thinking about the next generation and what we're leaving them, what type of legacy we are showing them, the type of education that we give to them at home. So very telling that the same women who could claim to promote women and be on the side of women harass and antagonize women when they don't agree with them, and then belittle the opinion or input of a woman to pick me status. So my only intention as a woman having an opinion or putting my input in could be for male gaze. I couldn't possibly just be wanting to talk to other women. I think it's laughably ignorant. And this proves my point as how it shows up culturally is laughably ignorant. So I want to leave y'all with this. Do we really want a healthy Black community? If so, we have to start calling each other in instead of calling each other out. I'm about to eat the breakfast my boyfriend made me and go to work helping a Black family with an autistic child who's also a boy.
Feminism is a bunch of baloney.
Feminism is a scam. We can't do what men do. Men can't do what we do. We both need each other, and there is nothing wrong with help. This whole being tough, being strong thing is for the birds. I think that men should be concerned if women have children by multiple men. So if you have one man that you have kids by, I think that's acceptable. But at 35, at 28, for you to have multiple kids by multiple different men and the kids are young is crazy.
Oh no, that's crazy.
But I think peace is effectively being able to communicate and effectively being able to understand, to get on one page so that you don't have problems. Having those hard conversations is what creates peace in your relationship. The decisions that we make today affect our future forever. And children are the biggest shift inside of our lives, especially if we choose to get pregnant by someone that we know is not our forever. Hurt people have kids with other hurt people and then they hurt their kids. Hurt people have kids with other hurt people and then those hurt kids hurt other kids. And then those hurt kids end up being the people that the kids get married and now everybody's just hurt.
Real talk. No men want another man's baggage, let alone more than one man's baggage. Thanks for watching Manhood. If you want access to exclusive episodes and want to support the channel, hit that join button and become a member. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video if it hit home. Drop your stories and thoughts in the comments. We read everyone. See you tomorrow.